Sketching the graph of a parabola. We're going to look at this example here. First thing we have to just make sure we are clear about is that this is a quadratic function. So the graph of a quadratic function that is indicated by that x squared is a parabola, either facing up or down. In this particular case, we have a parabola facing up because the coefficient of x squared is a positive number. Here we have a positive 1 hiding there. So parabola facing up. Second thing, y-intercept. The y-intercept will happen when, or we'll be able to identify it when x is 0. When x is 0, these two terms disappear. So we are left with 12. So y equals 12. It's the independent term, the term not attached to any x's. Then we need to find the x-intercepts. So this time it's the y that is going to be 0 when the graph is crossing the x-axis. So what we have to do is set that expression on the right hand side equal to 0. So this is now a quadratic equation, and we should always try to factorize it to solve it. We could use the quadratic formula, but usually simpler, faster to just factorize it. So here we need two numbers that multiply to 12 and add up to -8. So we can count on -6 and -2 because they multiply to 12 and add up to -8. To solve this equation now, because we have a product that equals 0, we have to say that each one of these factors should equal to 0. So that means x would equal 6 or x would equal 2. So now we have completed the first part here. We have the shape of the graph, we have the y-intercept, and we have the x-intercept. We are ready now to draw the first sketch of the graph of this. So let's draw the x and y axis. Let's put the 12 there as the y-intercept, the positive 2 and the positive 6 for the x-intercepts. And you will see that I'm not actually being very accurate with the scale here, but it's no problem, it's just a sketch. And now comes the parabola facing up. So this could be a very first sketch, but if we want a little bit more detail, we want to know exactly where. Just look at this. Same points, but what is changing? That point where the shape turns, the turning point, is the one that we still need to find to be able to have a sketch a little bit more accurate than this very first one. So this vertex or turning point, what we have to do here is find the line of symmetry of this parabola, which is an imaginary line that goes through that point, straight line. So this straight line, if it crosses the turning point, it goes through the turning point, it means it's halfway between 2 and 6. So all we have to do here is find what halfway between 2 and 6 is. So there are 4 units here between 2 and 6. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So there are 2 units each side of that middle point. So we can actually identify that middle point really clearly now. So 2, if I go from left to right, 2 plus 2, that will be 4. Or if I came from the 6 go down to, that is also 4. So what have we found here? We know now that the x coordinate of the turning point is 4. So let's have a look at this in more detail. So we know the y-intercept was 12, the x-intercepts 2 and 6, and now we have just found out that the coordinates of the vertex will be 4 for the x, but we still don't know what the y is. So to find exactly what the y of that point is, what we do is we simply substitute this 4x into the equation. So that's what we're going to do to find the y of the vertex. So it will be x squared, so 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 12. So what we get here is 16 minus 32 plus 12. So let's get the positives added up together first. 16 and 12 is 28. And 28 minus 32 will give us negative 4. So the y of the vertex should be negative 4. So now we have this calculated. We are ready now to sketch the graph in more detail. So here are the x's again. The y-intercept, that 12. The x-intercepts, the 2 and the 6. And the vertex having x4 and y, well, I shouldn't be that careful here because I haven't been doing a very accurate scale, but here we are. So that 4 for x, negative 4 for y, that's the point where the parabola turns. So the turning point or the vertex of the parabola. Now we can again draw the same parabola, but we know now how far down we go. So it's a parabola facing up, crossing y at 12, crossing x at 2 and 6, and with a turning point at 4, negative 4.